Hey class, Matthew Harvey here with my second watch drop vlog, and I'm gonna do it on Jaws. Let's see what Spielberg's Jaws. Very different movie from The Endless Summer, which I guess is paired with this one. And The Endless Summer, you get this very happy, joyous, optimistic view of the water in summer, and then in the Jaws, it's like you get this fear of water in it. So two completely different ideas there. And as far as my overall impressions go for the movie, it wasn't one that I was expecting. Because Jaws is a classic, and then watching it, I didn't think it was all that great personally. It was okay. I understand that the standard of horror then versus now is completely different, especially after reading the articles about the difficulty that they had with the sharks in general. I understand why it was the way it was, but just not what I was expecting. One thing I did appreciate, again, after reading those articles, is how Spielberg was able to infuse fear into the audience by forcing us to use our imagination. And a couple ways he did that was with the camera angles, or the way that he used the camera to display the shark and the shark attacks. We only get to see really bits and pieces of the shark attacks. If you think back to the girl, you never see the shark actually come up and eat her. You see the shark, the shark's view of her legs, and then you see her getting tossed around, but you never really see the shark then. You just see she goes under, there's a lot of blood. So we only get bits and pieces of the shark, and I think that by doing that, it built a suspense. And I have a couple examples of this happening. The first one, again, is the girl when she gets attacked and is dragged underwater. And then again, during her autopsy, what's his name? I think it was Matt. He comes in and he's looking at her body, and he looks very pale, starts sweating, he needs water, he starts getting a little panicky in his voice. So that built fear, right? But not actually showing us the body. We see her arm, and we see, horribly done fake arm, just mauled. And that gives, and he starts naming off all the other things that are wrong with her, and it kind of builds us up our imagination. We have to use our imagination, right, to build that kind of what happened to her, what she looks like kind of deal. Same thing happens with the Kettner boy. We get more of a view here, but we still don't see the shark at all. We see him get eaten, we see a lot of blood, and then we see his raft roll up on the beach. So that's another place where we don't actually see the shark, right? We still haven't seen the shark up to this point. We just see the attacks, and we don't even get to see the whole attack. We see a part of the attack, and then we see the aftermath of the attack again, right? And the last example I have of this is more later. We've seen the shark a couple times by this point, but still, when they're on the boat and they're shooting the barrels at the shark, and the barrel is supposed to keep floating, but a couple of times the shark, especially on the first one, the shark just takes it underwater, no big deal. Does it again with the second barrel for a little bit. And what this does is this creates, these examples, they all create room for us to use our imagination to interpret how strong this shark actually is, and the damage that it can do. And I think that's really done with the camera angles and the way that Spielberg is able to show us how the cameras show us the shark and how the camera shows the attack. In the case of the girl and her autopsy, by not showing us the attack and not showing us her full body, we have to imagine ourselves, what happened after that attack, what her body looked like. And the imagination is always more powerful than the actual thing, right? And I think that's what he was going with. The Kettner boy in the raft, again, we see the raft looks destroyed and there's blood everywhere. So same situation, we have to imagine what that shark is like and what the shark looks like. And then with the barrels, when the shark takes the barrels underwater, we have to imagine how strong the shark is, how powerful he is. And it builds a bit of mystery about the water as well. And that's where it does contrast with The Endless Summer. The Endless Summer was curiosity about the water. It's a fun thing, something to be enjoyed. But in Jaws, it's the unknown. The water is the unknown. It's dangerous, and we have to be careful in it. So by the end of the movie, though, we do see the shark, but especially we see a real attack when he's eating. I can't remember the guy's name, Quinn maybe. when the shark is eating the boat, the very last scenes, we actually see the shark there, and we understand why Spielberg didn't show us the shark all the way through and why he let us use our imagination, because the shark didn't look good. But by that point, we were already scared and intimidated by the shark, so at that point, I don't think it mattered. And I think that's what he was going for with not showing us the full shark throughout, is letting us use our imagination to build the suspense ourselves and to build our own ideas about what the shark looks like and how powerful and strong it is. So I appreciated that, and how he was able to build horror through us forcing us to use our own imagination. That's something I don't see a lot of in films now. Sorry, I'm a little congested. The question that I had is, how do you guys think that the film uses sound and music to infuse the same kind of suspense or fear? If you could drop an example with it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.